Welcome back, everybody. We are here starting our top cut round. It ended up being Marty here got first place. He's going to be playing Habib in the second game of top 4. And the other game is Gunnar and Saiki. And Saiki wasn't on stream before, but he is going to be now. He actually got second, so definitely was one of the better players here today. But while they're getting set up, Marty, why don't you talk to us? How was the game today?
First off, big shout out to the Modern Gamer for giving me the team. I don't take credit for any of the originality. Right. All that goes to Modern Gamer.
Yeah, and I've used that team too. It's a pretty dirty team. It's good right now.
Yeah, I think with all the Gyarados running around, Gastron is definitely a good tech for the team to have. I like having the nuke on the Salamence, so everything's coming together for my playstyle. So
nice.
Really like it.
And so how was today's tournament for you?
Went really well. I think going into this tournament, I had played a total of 2 people that were here. So I had some background on those, and then every other game, it seemed like I was having to not only make the reads in the game, but read the person and read their play style. Right. And you got so many things going on at one time. Man.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you did a good job. You went undefeated. So that's good. Was this your first time going undefeated at a tournament? I mean, it's a smaller one, but still, nothing to.
We had the mid-season where I was able to go win undefeated and then lost to this guy here in the finals.
Maybe get some revenge.
Hopefully, no more freeze hacks.
Yeah.
A little bit salty about that, so that was seen on camera. I apologize.
You should run Tapu Fini, man.
Yeah, Tapu Fini.
Yeah,
maybe.
No freezes then. So you guys are good to start. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this game. Marty here is gonna actually join me on commentary since he knows the teams anyway. Yep. Not a big deal. This is underground anyway, so we don't play by no rules. We'll screen peek all the games.
And we got Gunnar here, who's running a largely defensive team, so I'll cover him. We lost it for just a second there.
Oh, yeah, Steven, can we go back to the other screen so we can see the teams? Thanks. Yeah, no worries.
There we go. Here it comes. Oh, I know he's got the Persian. He's got the Tapu Bulu. He's got Celesteela. He's got Gudra. He's got Melodic and Arcanine. The team really revolves around getting your Pokemon to sit on the field, take the Snarl, and just set him up for the late game where he can potentially stall you out. And Celesteela is really, really good at that.
Oh, so yes, as you demonstrated against Gunnar in the first round. So, meanwhile, Yuki has a team of, for our first Nihilego of the day, he's got Arcanine as well, Tapu Koko, Pelipper, Whimsicott, also our first Whimsicott, and Tapu Lele. So he's got double Tapu with an Ultra Beast here against, well, I guess, not Marty. You're Marty. Gunnar has an Ultra Beast and a Tapu too, but got some nice legendary action going on with some good partners. They both have that Arcanine in common. Pelipper, though, is going to make fire type attacks pretty not worth.
Yeah, and it looks like Yuki, he's going to have to manage his Tapu Koko throughout the game. It really gives him an opportunity to just not necessarily rip through Ezreal's team. I mean, as you've seen, he's really defensive. He's in there to take the Dazzling Gleams. He's in there to take the T-Bolts.
Right.
But I think Yuki managing his Tapu Koko is going to be the key to victory here. And then for Gunnar, getting that Tapu Koko off the field is going to be the key as well.
Yeah, and he does have a good way. Tapu Bulu is going to be able to get rid of both Tapu Lele and Tapu Koko with a single Wood Hammer. It really comes down to the item, though. I don't think a lot of people are running Focus Sash Koko except you.
No,
which is great.
Shout out to Modern Gamer
once
again.
I definitely enjoy that kind of Tapu Koko. So we are going to see Yuki leads with the Whimsicott and the Tapu Lele, whereas Gunnar brings the Persian and the Milotic.
Yeah, and Tailwind threat right off the bat, trying to gain speed control. It looks like Yuki's team is built around the, not necessarily hyper offense, but a more offensive team. So we're going to be seeing 2 different contrasting styles of play here with the offensive style team for Yuki and the defensive style for Gunnar.
Some other interesting things to note is that with the Psychic Terrain, Whimsicott, if it has any Prankster status moves, not going to be able to use them on the opponent. At the same time, Persian actually, as a Dark type, is just going to be naturally immune to Prankster status moves because of the changes made in Gen 7. So Whimsicott may not be super useful. However, let's see, Yuki has 2 fairies on the field, so Persian is really going to have a hard time here, and it's not going to be faster than Whimsicott, definitely. It probably will outspeed Lele unless it's Scarfed, so it might be able to get off a Snarl, but it's definitely threatened.
Yep. And we're going to see the Moonblast come off into that Persian. Going to be really close to the KO. Just barely misses it, and we see the Focus Sash hang on there. We're going to see the Snarl come off. Again, that defensive play style from Gunnar, trying to weaken the special attack there. We see it rise. We see it lower one stage on both sides of the field. I'm really interested to see what the Tapu Lele goes for. Oh, it goes for the Dazzling Gleam.
Okay, that's
and it's
good.
going to pick up the KO in Persian, which is big because the Persian it does give Gunnar really a defensive playstyle to work around. Something fast, something that can snarl, something that can disrupt on the other side of the field.
Yeah, and the Moringa Berry is also going to pop, raising Gunnar's special defense on his Milotic while he goes for a Scald into that Whimsicott, maybe fishing for a burn. Ice Beam might have been nice there too. But the interesting thing here is that while Persian did get off the Snarl, which will come in handy, the question is how handy will that be, because you can just switch out both of his Pokemon, get his regular stats back, and Gunnar lost the whole Pokemon just for that one technique.
Yeah, and the scary thing is I think a lot of the answers that Yuki has to Milotic are especially offensive. So with that Moringa Berry, with the Recover, just being able to sit on the field, soak up hits, it's incredibly difficult to take down, as we kind of saw in my game with Gunnar as well.
Right,
extremely challenging
you know,
Pokemon
firsthand.
to take down.
So I think, though, the key for Gunnar is getting rid of Tapu Koko. Even Tapu Koko, you're right, is going to struggle against that Milotic. But if you can get rid of that with the Bulu, Milotic can really just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
And just slowly whittle away the Lele, the Whimsicott, whatever it needs to. The interesting thing here is that Tapu Bulu, I don't know how threatened it'll be by 2 Moonblasts potentially from weakened Tapu Leles. So where something is taking a Wood Hammer to the face.
We see the light screen. Not a really common move, but that is definitely going to help against the Bulu, possibly being able to soak up a Wood Hammer if that's what he goes for. You see the T-Bolt come out, takes him down to about half. That Moringa Berry just showing the power there. We see the Scald onto Lele. Does almost no damage. I think that was the Psychic Seed that we saw earlier.
Oh, yeah, it was, for sure.
Wood Hammer comes out into the Whimsicott.
That thing's frail, though.
Oh, wow. And it's going to be able to take it out even though it resists.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the interesting thing that I picked up here, and I'm not going to try to say this too loud so that the opponents don't hear it, but you see the 202 HP on Melodic. Now, that's pretty key here because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, max invested Celesteela's HP is 201. So if it does come down to another Stolly battle, Milotic is going to win that battle.
I hope not. If Gunnar can stay at the max HP, if it came down to that kind of a thing. But you're right. That is definitely true. And we're actually, instead, though, we're going to see the Nihilego come out, which is... No, because you've got to make it less syllables, so Nihilego is the quickest way to say it. So Nihilego is going to actually be super, super threatening to the Tapu Bulu, and actually, like, not going to worry about that Milotic at all because of the light screen. Scald and how specially bulky it is, it's going to just shrug that off, can just Sludge Bomb into the Bulu, and cause a lot of problems for Gunnar. That's actually, I completely forgot that was an option for Saiki. The real question here is whether Nihilego can do enough with something like Power Gem to possibly get rid of Celesteela on Gunnar. No, wait, Gunnar doesn't have Celesteela, does he?
No, Gunnar does have the Celesteela.
Oh, he does.
He hasn't brought it yet. Yeah, I think the interesting here is to see how much damage a Scald does to that Nihilego.
Yeah.
We saw earlier on stream that it was running the Roxy move, so it does not have the stats.
Oh, no, we didn't see that on stream. Because he wasn't on stream.
Don't listen
You just played
what
it.
I said.
That's okay. So Marty has the insider info. The Bulu actually going to protect in probably in proper fear of that Sludge Bomb. Koko switches in actually, which is going to be nice to threaten the Milotic and to get rid of the grassy terrain. Actually, that does a surprising amount of damage. The burn. Okay. But still, Gunnar's going to have to get that Bulu out of there like ASAP if he wants it to stick around at all.
Not to be too salty, but it seems like Tapu Fini is the answer to Gunnar. Just with all
that's the counter.
With all the burns, all the freezes, all the paralysis, it seems like Tapu Fini is the way to... it makes sense. Fini's built around the controlling playstyle, so maybe that's something we see in the future. Definitely didn't see a single one today.
No, and I don't think we've seen one in a lot of places. Bulu does switch out, goes into Goodra. That's going to take a Sludge Bomb just fine. My question is, how well does Milotic take a Thunderbolt? Guess what? We won't get to find out. Because Milotic is going to protect. So Milotic protects, no damage there. Let's see how much a Sludge Bomb does to the Goodra. And does it get the poison? Does some hacks in return? No.
Yeah, and it really soaks it up there. So Saiki really got to be wondering, or Saiki, I'm sorry, is it AV? Is it just a really bulky Goodra set? I think those are the things that
it's definitely AV.
You've got to be able to figure out in this game. I know what it is because I face Gunnar, but trying to add a little bit of illusion there. So things that you've got to be able to pick up in game 1 so that you can have a successful game 2, game 3.
true.
Figuring out the items, figuring out the damage calcs. A lot to learn from these turns, even if they don't really look like a whole lot's happening.
Right, yeah, and that's definitely one of the things that's hardest for new players to pick up, is that even though you think you're switching in, someone protected, only one attack went off, a lot didn't happen. There's always something you can learn from every turn of VGC. And that's important for you viewers out there as well. So we're going to see Nihilego actually switch out. Doesn't want to just take a whole lot of damage from that burn. Tapu Lele coming out instead. Going to set up the Psychic Terrain instead. Get rid of the Electric Terrain. Going to make Tapu Koko have a harder time getting rid of that Milotic. Let's see how much it does.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a spicy meatball. No, I don't know why I said that. We're going to see a para, though, onto the Milotic. Does it?
Right,
No, it gets the recover. Okay, but still, though, I don't know if that... I mean, if he doubles into that, that's definitely going to be bad news for Gunnar. But the Sludge Bomb coming off into the Tapu Koko. Does he get the poison? Yes. Once again, Gunnar getting all the hacks in the world. That must be very frustrating for Saiki. He's learning firsthand the power of Gunnar, which is apparently hacks. So now status on all three of Saiki's remaining Pokemon have status inflicted upon them. So that means that this game is definitely on a timer. One of Gunnar's is definitely inflicted with a status as well, but it's not one that does damage over time. So if Gunnar can just wait and not lose his Pokemon, but you know what? Moonblast from Tapu Lele, not going to be fun for the Gudra.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether it lives with the AV or not. I think your Saiki here, you can't, and no pun intended, psych yourself out for the next game. You want to make sure that you pick up as much detail as possible, even if you feel like you don't have that win condition attack. Definitely still there, a lot of game to play. But we're going to see the moves out here. We see the Melodic go for the protect.
That was a good play.
Yeah, we see the Dazzling Gleam. Gudra's going to be able to soak that up with the AV.
Oh, no, but that if he gets a Moonblast as well, that's definitely going to cause problems for... I think that's it for the... Oh, actually, you know what? A Psychic unresisted. Yeah? Not super effective. Oh my god, but the special D drop, maybe that'll matter later. Definitely losing something to that Sludge Bomb. Oh, no. Okay, so Tapu Koko only has one turn left in it at best, and that was in a world where it had more HP. Actually, it's going to faint. So that's it for the Tapu Koko. Now it's Tapu Lele and Nihilego against the Milotic, Gudra, and Koko in the back?
Yeah, and something smart to realize there. You saw the light screen wore off. You see the two special attackers that are on Gunnar's side of the field.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent board position there, making sure that they don't keep physically attacking into a light screen. And I think he's managed to play the board very well, something that a defensive playstyle team is built to do. And I think he's really taking control of game one.
Yeah, and so he might lose that Gudra here. I actually be surprised if he didn't. But the Milotic might be able to get a knockout on the Nihilego before it can knock something out in return. Actually, Gudra's going to switch out to preserve itself. Tapu Bulu coming in instead. Going to take a Psychic a little bit better. Actually, it'll do a lot better because getting rid of the Grassy Surge, or getting rid of the Psychic Terrain with a Grassy Surge. But we're going to see that Z move coming out that you were just that you spoiled for us a little bit there. We're going to see Nihilego go for Continental Crush. Saiki's in-game avatar going for them striking a powerful flex pose. And I wonder which Pokemon this is going into. Yeah, so
going into the Melodic,
with all those boosts, I wonder how much damage that's going to do.
Yeah, and it's good information to take into Game 3. We see it do around half. Is the Psychic going to be enough?
Oh!
It is
not.
Wow.
Oh, my
we need
goodness.
the paralysis here.
Yeah, and the competitive boost.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's bad. But he gets the para. Okay, so Gunnar getting a taste of his own medicine here, but Saiki is still on a timer. That was a fantastic play, though, predicting the switch from the Bulu, because now Nihilego can easily just Sludge Bomb into the Bulu, even if Gudra switches in, and Tapu Lele can just go for something onto the Milotic and get a knockout there. So really, I think actually Saiki can win this game despite all of Gunnar's efforts to hack him into the ground.
Yeah, Karma definitely a cruel mistress, really coming for Gunnar here, right here. I think the ability to stay focused in the game and identify that you still got a win condition is what kept Saiki in this game. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how the next turns out. You would expect the Sludge Bomb pressure to either force a protect, but either way, I mean, it's knocking out that Bulu, and the Melodic's getting knocked out with a Psychic here.
Yeah, I think the only way Gunnar has out is if he goes for the most ridiculous hacks ever and literally just gets like a sextuple protect. He'd have to protect forever until they burn takes them away. And actually, it's going to be even harder because the grassy terrain heals as much damage as the burn does. So Saiki actually kind of off the timer thanks to Gunnar. Way to go, Gunnar. What a pal.
We see the protect here coming out from Bulu, which means we're going to see definitely an attack going into the Milotic to knock it out. Is it going to be the Psychic? We see the Dazzling Gleam that should be able to.
It's 7 HP, and it got a special D drop.
It's 19.
Oh, it's 19.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, the bars go down at different rates in this game.
Yeah,
it makes you think every time that like you're not going to get the knockout. Because I think it goes at the same. It takes the same time to go down, no matter how full it is.
Yep.
So.
And we see the protect there. Gunner's going to have to land a double protect if he wants to stay in this game.
I don't even think that'll help because a Moonblast is going to take out the Gudra, and then Bulu eventually is not going to be able to protect, and it's going to go down to a fast Sludge Bomb. So. Really?
Yeah, we've already seen the item on the Bulu. If we haven't, and I'm just talking out of my butt, then I'm not going to say it.
No, we saw him do the Bloom
It's definitely not the berry that halves the bump. So it looks like this game's going to go to Saiki. Great game played. It looked like Gunnar was in control.
Right,
for a lot
it really
of the game,
did.
But I think the offensive playstyle, the offensive Pokemon.
Oh, he gets the double.
My God.
Of course he gets the double. Saiki just nodding like, yeah, I saw that. Of course he would. But a Dazzling Gleam, or, I guess maybe he doesn't have Moonblast. He probably just has Gleam instead.
Either that, or he is protecting it, keeping it under wraps. The Gleam. Oh!
No. That was a little glitch on the images. It stopped for a second at like 2 HP. Yeah, that would have been pretty huge. But, definitely Gudra going down. And now Gunnar has his little Bulu up against the world.
I think the Gleam makes sense now because after thinking about it, he showed the T-Bolt earlier on in the game. So T-Bolt, Gleam, Psychic,
protect.
Of course, protect.
Gunnar.
We see the forfeit from Gunnar.
He's making up his mind. He's like, am I just going to let this Sludge Bomb go down?
And he wants to protect the dignity of that Bulu, so he's going to forfeit here. This is going to go ahead and go into the game 2. Going to be interested to see what adjustments are made. I feel like we went into that game thinking Saiki had to protect the Coco.
Yeah.
It turned out to be the Nihilego. that was the MVP.
Because I actually, I haven't used a whole lot of Nihilego, and I haven't played a lot of it against. I actually feel like it's still kind of one of those slept-on Ultra Beasts, but it's super threatening to any of the Tapu.
Yeah, especially Bulu, which is kind of where Gunnar started the team build. From what it looks like, most people are starting with that Tapu, starting with that UB, and trying to build around there.
Right.
Especially with the defensive Bulu. The one thing that really just kind of puts a fork in that is the Nihilego and that devastating Sludge Bomb.
Yeah. And it actually, Nihilego does a lot of work on other Pokemon with its Rock type, because there are a lot of Fire type or Flying type Pokemon that don't appreciate that either. And a lot of those are physically bulky, like Gyarados is trying to use Intimidate. What was up? Saiki one. And also their names are on the wrong side. So I forgot to mention that too. There we go. Okay, cool. So we're going into game 2. So yeah, I think actually Gunnar has to figure out a better way to get rid of that Nihilego. And if you ask me, the answer is Heavy Slam on Celesteela.
Yeah,
because it's very weak on the physical side.
I'd be interested to see if the Pelipper's carrying Tailwind. I feel like Yuki's got in a position to go all-out hyper-offensive. If maybe he swaps the Pelipper for the Whimsicott, gets the speed control early game. We didn't see the Tailwind from Whimsicott, so maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe it's an offensive Whimsicott. I really don't know there.
It did do a lot of damage.
It did do a lot of damage, so it'll be interesting to see how both of these players try to use their leads to get effective board position in game 2.
I think what Gunnar really wishes is he could make his Tapu Bulu faster. Somehow, because if he could knock out the Nihilego, he could knock out the Coco and the what's it called, the Lele. He could probably knock out the Pelipper too. So Bulu really does work, but the problem is what a lot of Bulu players are facing is that it's just not very fast. So you have to either get Trick Room up, or you have to redirect, or do something to give that thing a chance to do as much damage as it's capable of doing.
Yeah, and I think the concession that some players are willing to make, with a lot of popular Pokemon being weak to that ground type, just Earthquake being an ever-present threat, being able to guarantee that the grassy terrain gets up with a slower Bulu, I think is the trade-off there.
Yeah, that's true.
And versus most teams, that's probably your best option. Versus Saiki, it's a difficult team to lead Bulu into that.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see Arcanine and Tapu Lele come out for Saiki, whereas Celesteela and Bulu come out for for
Great
Gunnar.
for
So I guess he wasn't that worried about leading Bulu against Saiki after all.
Great lead for Saiki here. He's got 2 Pokemon that put immense pressure on that Bulu. The Arcanine threatening the one-hit KO with the Flare Blitz. If he's got it, we don't really know. It is a common move. Also putting a lot of pressure on that Celesteela. Great call with the Arcanine here. And then the Lele just,
it has Thunderbolts.
The Lele
so actually, both of these Pokemon are pretty much like ruining their pants because like a Flare Blitz is going to wreck a Bulu or Celesteela. T-Ball is going to be able to do a lot to Celesteela, and Moonblast or a Psychic is going to do a lot to Bulu. I think Gunnar has to protect or switch.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I believe so too. Maybe we haven't seen the item on the Celesteela. I've seen it, but you guys haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure it's probably lefty. And we also see the HP from Celesteela too, so kind of brings full circle the HP theory I had there. I'd love to have one of you viewers possibly correct me. Please tell me what max HP Celesteela is. Oh, and Gunnar looks like he's almost running out of time. Yeah. He's very different in older seasons when we weren't at tethered events. You would have to, you didn't get to play with the actual like 45-second timer, so now we do get to do that. It's good practice. So Lele actually going to protect as a Will-O-Wisp goes out onto Tapu Koko or Tapu Bulu, but it's going to miss, and now a Bloom Doom coming out, sprouting a beautiful, just pleasant-looking field of flowers, which will then erupt into awful green explosion. I'm imagining onto the Tapu Lele, but it is intimidated, and Tapu Lele did protect, so I would kind of be surprised if it survived, but the grassy terrain is up. So let's just see if this is a testament to Bulu's strength. It is not. That's not bad damage. And Lele did protect, so that's where we see that there. You know, it's an interesting protect because when I saw the turn take place, I thought, why protect Lele there? You threaten the Oko on both of these Pokemon, especially if you double up in there. But it turns out being a really good call. With Milotic coming in, if that Arcanine goes into the Milotic, you're not picking up a KO. And Lele by itself into the Bulos, also not picking up a KO. So an excellent forward thought that maybe I probably wouldn't have done. But we see a really great play there by Saiki. We also see a nice defensive switch by Gunnar. Yeah, but you know, and what sucks for Saiki is that Will-O-Wisp missed, because if it didn't, then that would have done even less damage. I mean, Tapu Lele would have pretty much been unscathed. Gunnar once again taking his time. He probably struggles, which is interesting. Gunnar plays a lot of chess, so with this new chess-like timer, I wonder is how that he feels about that. Let's see, Psychic going into the protecting Tapu Bulu, and we're going to see a burn-up attempt to go into Bulu as well, but not going to work, and so it's still going to take super effective damage from that Scald. Going to do a little bit more than half. Yeah, and I do like that he didn't just immediately Psychic into the Milotic. He's seen the Moringa Berry. He's seen that, you know, if I have to use a special attack into the Milotic, it's going to be my Koko. It's going to be something that I can threaten with a 2-hit KO. So a good play there as well from Saiki. Great protect by Gunnar. That Bulu goes down if it doesn't protect, and possibly something goes down if it switches in. Right, yeah, because and that burn-up is going to be actually very useful against the Milotic in removing Arcanine's weakness. And I actually don't know if I've seen the in-game animation for burn-up, so that's kind of an exciting prospect too. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It looks like... well, other than saying it looks like it's burning up, not much else to it. So I think it's a great attack too, because I think a lot of people's answers to the Arcanine is that Earthquake. So being able to get rid of that Fire type and then put on the immense pressure that this Arcanine does with the Will-O-Wisp, with the if it's got Snarl, it's got Intimidate. So another defensive Arcanine as well that we're seeing here. So we're gonna see Goodra come in, gonna take a burn up a lot better. But we see a Psychic come out, and Goodra actually takes that just fine. We do finally get to see the burnout come out. Let's see this beautiful, beautiful animation. Nice, pretty cool. Yeah, but the important part here is not how cool it looks, but the fact that it is no longer a Fire-type Pokemon. Granted, I wonder if it could get the burn. I told you, Gunnar and the hacks, and that still does decent damage. But that's so interesting. How often do you get to see an Arcanine burned? Exactly. Yeah, and one of the things here, I like how Saiki's keeping his composure. A lot of the more inexperienced players might have the tendency to just throw their hands up in the air, get really pissed off when things don't go so lucky. Right. But he seems focused. He's going into his next turn. He's thinking things out. And for any of the younger players that are watching, any of the less experienced ones, that's the absolute best way to handle this. It's a part of the game. It's part of the game we love, and you just got to accept it sometimes. Right. So now let's see. Interesting positions here for both players. Goodra definitely threatening the Tapu Lele with Sludge Bombs, as we saw before.
and Gleam isn't going to do a whole lot. Milotic actually still doing a pretty decent amount of damage to the Arcanine, even though it's not a fire type anymore. So I think at this point, Saiki is going to be the one who could stand to readjust. But really, I think what he needs to do is whittle down that Goodra as fast as he can, because really that's what's slowing down the rest of his plans.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look at the team again. From looking at it originally, I don't think he has a way to hit Goodra offensively, or not offensively. I'm sorry, with physical attack moves.
No, I don't think so.
So that
either.
AV is actually pretty scary.
Yeah,
just sitting on the field, and it just seems like that's what the team designed to do. Just sit there and deal out damage.
Excellent play from Saiki there, protecting and predicting Gunner's double, a Sludge Bomb and a Scald, and that gave him a free switch into Tapu Koko. So we might be seeing some very strong Fairy type attacks coming out. However, it might be a better time to go for a Thunderbolt before Milotic has had a chance to pop its Moringa Berry.
Yep.
It could even get a knockout with the Electric Terrain up. So that could be very interesting here.
Yeah, I think with the Sludge Bomb, Goodra, even though you want to get rid of that Milotic, Goodra is the threat here.
Yeah,
it's got to be
true.
cleared. You've got to take that thing out, just because the Milotic, while yes, it is a little bit scary, it's not putting on a ton of offensive pressure right now.
Yeah, although it could. I mean, we saw it was the last, I think it wasn't it the last Pokemon that Gunner had at the end of the last game? So it's actually going to run away, switch into the back for Tapu Bulu, which will probably take up a Thunderbolt much better now that it's changed the terrain and resist as well. Yeah, that's pretty good damage. And he gets to get the Para.
Right back at you.
So going to take a little Life Orb recoil. Lele actually going to go for Thunderbolt. So actually Saiki really wanted to get rid of that Milotic doubling into it. Not going to do a whole lot to the Bulu. And a Sludge Bomb coming out. That looks like a crit.
Oh my God.
Crit Para. Classic Gunner. Hacks for every day. Yeah. That wasn't even a crit. That was damage. Oh, you know what? The light screen was up before, so we never really saw full Sludge Bomb power. Yeah. And that really does the trick.
And I think that the key to that turn is, while, yes, Milotic has shown to be just a complete pain while it's on the field, I think the threat was Goodra. It was easily Goodra just because it threatened to it threatened to KO both of those Pokemon with the Sludge Bomb.
Yeah.
So one of the things there that I think if the Milotic stays in, it obviously goes down, but Saiki loses a Pokemon there just because the threat with the Sludge Bomb on the Goodra.
And then now the good news for Saiki, though, is that it does give him a chance to switch in that Nihilego safely. However, the question is, does he predict Gunner will protect? Because he's done that every time. Very afraid of the Sludge Bomb. And so does that mean he goes into the Goodra with something? Maybe that Z move.
Yeah, I think the Goodra is the easy target because you've probably already at this point identified its item that it's AV. So something that gets hit in that slot is going to take damage, whether it's a switch in or whether Goodra stays in. That's kind of why I wanted to see the double dazzling gleam.
Right.
Band name called it. So here we go.
Okay, so Bulu's actually going to switch out into Celesteela. That'll take a Sludge Bomb just fine. And it actually that's a new Pokemon for Gunner in this series. Tapu Lele protects. Not going to take any damage from a Sludge Bomb. Nihilego is not going to do any damage with this Sludge Bomb. Yeah, so not a lot happened that turn. But what we do learn, Saiki not only has to deal with Milotic and Goodra, but it also has to deal with Celesteela. Wow, Gunner's team is super annoying.
Yep.
That's like really, it's so defensive.
As we get a glare from Gunner, who turns around. I mean, annoying in the sense that it's really difficult to take down. I think he should take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, definitely annoying for Saiki here. It got to feel at this point that it's impossible to take down that Goodra, even with double fairies on the field, which has got to be a little bit demoralizing. But let's see if he can keep focused in this game.
Yeah, and the other good thing for Gunner is that every time the Goodra doesn't take any damage, it's going to heal a little bit back because of that grassy terrain.
And we see the Z move, this beautiful animation here.
Although I wonder if it's going into the Celesteela or into the Goodra.
Yeah, I think he's pretty confident that he can do some massive damage to that Celesteela right here with the rock move. We'll see if it goes into the Goodra, and I think it's going into the Celesteela.
It is. It's going into the Celesteela. That thick Ultra Lady. I don't know what that was. So we're going to see that actually do a lot of damage, and the Thunderbolt going into Celesteela as well.
Ooh,
but does it pick up the knockout? It does. The counts. Saiki confident that was going to get the knockout. Let's see how much this Sludge Bomb does, though, without a light screen there to protect Tapu Lele. Not even half. Does get the poison.
God.
Gunner just poisoning everyone. And it's not his fault. You're right. I hacked the game. Seriously. I don't know why he doesn't go to events.
Oh,
he would just, maybe that's how he got to top cut in AZ. He just hacks his way there.
Yeah, I wish we had the ability to put the triggered meme up.
Right.
I think that's applicable right here.
I would think so.
But we see a really interesting combo there. We saw the Z move rock from Nihilego. We saw it double up with the T-Bolt. So Gunner's got to be aware of that for Game 3. If he lets that happen again, Celestial is going down without dealing out any damage.
Yeah, although it definitely has to survive. Gunner definitely still has to survive this game in general if he wants to win. And really, I think, see, the problem for Saiki is he doesn't really want to take a Scald into that Nihilego. And he doesn't really have anything to switch into.
Yeah, the big problem here to hit Gudra super effectively, he has to Dazzling Gleam, which is going to pop that Moringa Berry.
Yep.
So maybe he considers a Psychic here into the Gudra, along with another attack with the Nihilego to double up in the Gudra and possibly KO it. It's going to be really interesting here. He's got to be thinking to avoid that Moringa Berry for the end game.
Yeah, but oh man, literally just looking at this team, I'm like, okay, maybe Saiki should double into the Milotic because the Gudra is like so bulky. But then the Gudra does so much damage. So Sludge Bomb. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's what he needed. He needed the poison so he could stall out.
Well.
Yeah. So that's gonna do decent damage to Gudra. Hopefully, help that clock tick a little faster with the poison. Moringa Berry does pop, which is gonna make things a little bit harder. Let's see how much this Scald does. It's actually in the Tapu Lele. Does a decent chunk. Sludge Bomb probably gonna finish the job.
Yep. Yeah, definitely with the poison damage too. I think we picked up there. Great that he cleared the Lele there. This Milotic's pretty scary with the Moringa Berry.
It is actually, and that's not something we've seen a whole lot. You've seen stuff like Walk-In Berry to stop Coco. Seen, what else have you seen on? Citrus Berry maybe. I've actually seen Grassy Seeds on Bulu teams.
Leftovers, that's about as kind of it's a pretty one-dimensional in terms of item Pokemon.
Yeah, well, Grassy Seeds actually, that's what I've used that before. Oh, Intimidate and competitive.
Yeah, and
that looks like the end of that Nihilego.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Saiki I think wanted to avoid if he could. Fortunately, it didn't work out in Game 2. This Milotic is such a threat. If it gets the Moringa Berry set up and it's cleared the electric types from the field, this thing has showed its ability to just hang in there and not go down.
What I think is funny is that in the first game, I was very convinced Gunner had the win. After all, everything was statused on Saiki's side. And then in the second game, I was like, okay, Saiki's definitely seems like he has pretty good control of it. He's threatening the Bulu. He's threatening, everything pretty much. But now it looks like Gunner's going to be able to pull out the win. But I think it literally all comes down to whether Nihilego can survive and whether that Milotic will go away or not.
Yeah, I think with the competitive boost, it's not going to. As you see the Arcanine go down, we'll obviously see the attack come out from the Gudra into that slot.
Yeah.
And this another good calc that Saiki's going to be able to take into Game 3. What it looks like. What does a D-Pulse do? It does about, 35%?
Third? Yeah, something like that. But now Milotic can just Scald, which is going to be super effective because it is a rock type. And Saiki, burning it was like a nice play. But at the same time, now he can't poison it, which would be faster. But I don't really think that Gunner has options here or Saiki has options here to stall things out long enough for poison to do enough work. So that's going to be it for this game. Geez, Game 3. This is a good little Top Cut series we have here.
Yeah, in Game 3, I think what we thought we identified in Game 1 was the key. Tapu Koko on Saiki's field, and the Bulu on Gunner's side. Now that's completely shifted based on what they brought to each game. I think the key to victory for Gunner, keep the Gudra alive so it can Sludge Bomb both the Tapus and make sure you get that Moringa Berry set up once you clear the Tapu from the field.
Yep.
If Saiki can avoid that in-game scenario, I think his team's in a good position to beat Gunner's. We'll see if that can happen. Gunner's obviously an experienced player.
Yeah.
He's top cut regionals before in the VGC, so he's obviously not going to just let that happen.
Right. Yeah, and so I don't really think Gunner needs to change his Pokemon. I don't even think Saiki needs to change his Pokemon. It's literally just going to come down to how well these two dance around each other and who ends up taking that advantage that helps them snowball their way to victory. Yeah, I really just think that's it because Yeah, and again, like I can't, like every time I look at him on, I'm like, oh, Milotic is such a pain to deal with. Oh, Goodra is such a pain to deal with. Celesteela, actually, Celesteela wasn't that big a pain to deal with.
Yeah, after we saw the Nihilego Lele combo, I'm not really convinced that Arcanine is needed to win this game.
Right.
I feel like the Nihilego, Coco, Lele, plus either Pelipper or Whimsicott is the key for Yuki. For Gunnar, I think that if you're him, you're bringing the Bulu, Celesteela, Arcanine, Milotic, and Goodra as the 4. So if those 4 are brought on each side, it's going to be really interesting. I think Yuki does need to bring some extra pressure.
Yeah,
for the
Whimsy,
Goodra.
maybe that is the answer, because then you can Moonblast into that Goodra and help chip it down even lower.
Yeah, and the Dazzling Gleam, it makes it so Milotic can't switch in and pop that berry.
Right. So, okay, so maybe the Whimsicott for its offensive pressure, which how often do you say that?
Yeah, not too many times, but I do like the Whimsicott here if he decides to bring it. You know, he could, Gunnar could be planning to face the Whimsicott and bring something like the Arcanine. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
The mind game's coming to game 3.
Oh, and you know what would be really helpful if Saiki had it was Endeavor.
Yeah.
If Saiki had Endeavor, that would be super nice. She'd be like, oh, really bulky Milotic? Cool, 1 HP for you.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, really bulky Goodra? Yeah, 1 HP. Really bulky, like, just, that would be a very nice combo for him if he has it, and that would really be scary for Gunnar. Of course, Gunnar could just very easily Sludge Bomb the Whimsicott and get poisoned on turn 1, and then it would just faint anyway. So maybe that wouldn't be the safest option when playing Gunnar.
Yeah, and we're going to see the leads here come out from Yuki. We're going to see the Lele Nihilego putting a ton of offensive pressure on the field. We're going to see the Milotic Goodra come out from Gunnar here as well. Who do you give the advantage to for leads for game 3?
I got to give it to Gunnar just because he's got both of his really obnoxious fat mons on the field. So, like, even though Saiki's got a lot of offense, it's not... I don't think it beats the bulk that Gunnar brings to this because, you know, you could Thunderbolt, but that's not going to be a big deal. You don't want to pop the Moringa Berry yet. Actually, you know what I think would be a good idea? It's relying on hacks, but just try to Sludge Bomb that Milotic, like, now, and then Sludge Bomb the Goodra and just get poison on both on the first turn. Like, that would be probably a nice way for Saiki to start the game. Because if he puts that clock on Gunnar early, that makes his job a lot easier.
Yeah, you are relying on a 10% chance, though.
Oh, it is only 10%.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're Gunnar, in which case it's...
No, wait, Sludge is 30, Sludge Wave is 10, so I'm wrong. Sludge Bomb
it is 30, right. So it's like a decent % chance. It's like, what was it today? I saw like Curse...
here we go. Did you call it?
Okay, yeah, well, let's see. Does he get it? He does. Okay. He gets it. So 1 clock starts. And the Dazzling Gleam from Lele... 30%.
30.
Oh, but the crit! The crit on Goodra with a Dazzling Gleam. He does pop the Moringa Berry, but it looks like Saiki got with the hacks that he needed when it counted. Scald coming out, though, onto, I imagine, the Heligo, and that does a little less than half. And he gets the burn. God. So I guess hacks for everybody today. Dragon Pulse also coming in the Heligo, so I think it's funny. Gunnar really identified Nihilego as the problem, and Saiki really identified Goodra as the problem. But you know what? I don't know if that survives another Dazzling Gleam. So if Saiki plays it right, he could Sludge Bomb onto the Milotic and get a lot of damage off.
Gunnar, let him use the charger.
Gunnar.
Let him use the charger. He's plugged into the DS.
Sorry, we've got a DS. Yeah, make sure you unplug the right one. Okay, we've got a DS going down situation. So.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that would have been a terrible way to end this set.
Yeah, is he like
so
that close to flashing out?
Yeah, so what I really like there, he identified the Assault Vest, so he doubled into the Goodra. It did max damage. I really like that play. I feel like he was a little bit hesitant to do that in Game 2. Saw it in Game 3, put him in a better position.
Yeah, and now I'm wondering whether a Dazzling Gleam does that last 50 damage to the Tapu Lele, and whether he can, try to keep that Nihilego around a little bit longer. Let's find out. It's going to happen. Does it get the knockout? It does. Yep. So that is one of Gunnar's very annoying, very bulky Pokemon down, partially thanks to a crit. But Gunnar does, nice. He does predict this protect.
Does he get the burn? Oh.
He doesn't get the burn. Nihilego, though, really low. And I think that Saiki, the problem here is that Saiki doesn't want to lose the Nihilego before it gets a chance to get rid of the Bulu.
It's definitely the Bulu check. I think if you're Gunner, you either bring the Bulu out and try to bait that Sludge Bomb into a Protect and let it go down to a burn, or you keep it in the back. We're going to see the Celesteela come out.
Yeah, now the question is, does Saiki feel like going for his play again, and does Gunner just protect through it? I think if I'm Saiki, I switch out the Nihilego and try and preserve it if you can.
Yeah, well, we've already seen that he threatens the kill on Celesteela, so maybe we see the T-Bolt into the Milotic. For Milotic, if you're Milotic here, I think you're just going for the recover, so may give Saiki the chance to just get a free switch into whatever he'd like. I think that...
Although at the same time, if Gunner is just going to go for the recover and Celesteela goes for something like a Leech Seed, he could sneak that KO again, and then he would be up, 3-2, but a pretty comfortable 3-2.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the read here. A really critical Game 3 read.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Gotta love games like this. Makes me miss Pokemon. And both players taking their time. Okay, so he does decide to switch out the Nihilego, and he's going to bring in the Whimsicott.
Oh, he did bring the Whimsicott.
Okay, but that's not going to be super helpful against the Celesteela. But that does protect, so it gets in safe. I wonder what the whether the Milotic does indeed go for the recover. I feel like he has to recover. Oh, another crit!
Oh, he got it!
Oh my goodness, Saiki, 2 big crits coming in very clutch. Gunner probably kind of sad inside.
Yeah, and that may, I don't want to say
Oh, no, it mattered.
Yeah.
Because the Moringa Berry.
Well, I don't want to say it sealed the game. I don't think so yet, but that's going to be tough to come back.
That's harsh, yeah. And now Whimsicott,
Now Whimsicott actually, why it seemed a really good choice. All the 2 Pokemon that it needed to kill are off the board, so actually kind of a disadvantage with the Celesteela on the field. It'll be interesting to see what item the Whimsicott got.
If it has Encore, it could become pretty handy there. Encore that Celesteela into
got
Protect.
Encore and then Encore's into Protect. That's pretty much wraps. It'll give Saiki the chance to focus down on that Bulu.
Yep. Although Gunner will have time to stall out that Encore, and by then the Bulu will probably have taken care of the Whimsicott. But the other problem for Bulu is that it's got Woodhammer to do most of its damage, so it's going to be KOing itself slowly every chance it gets. Gunner here coming down to the wire on time, 3 seconds left. Really seems like his back is against the wall.
Does it have Encore?
Let's find out. It doesn't. It has Taunt, though, which is going to be nice.
Yeah.
Prevents something like a Leech Seed or a Substitute.
Well, it also sets up, depending on...
Oh, wait, Psych Up. What did it Psych Up? Lele. But Lele had... Oh, it did have a special debuff.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, respect. Whimsicott, though, going to take a heavy slam and go down to 1 HP. Does it have Endeavor?
Yeah, and the interesting thing here is I think Saiki, if you're Saiki, you want the Whimsicott to go down.
Yeah, get a free switch. Probably into Coco.
Because now the Celesteela is taunted, and once the Nihilego comes back in, we already know that that Saiki is completely capable of getting rid of that Celesteela in one swift boot right off the field.
Right, then the problem becomes getting rid of the Bulu and not losing your Pokemon to it, but he's got 4 Mon to eat up. Wood Hammers. Granted, 2 of them are pretty much close to fainting. But assuming he has Coco in the back, I think
the play here is just to taunt the Bulu and make sure
that actually not having anyone be able to protect would be very nice for Gunner. Yeah.
He does go for it. A very good call there. Yep.
So now no one's going to be able to protect, and Lele will go for some damage onto the Celesteela. Actually, that was like a lot of damage. Wow, Woodhammer coming out, probably onto the Lele. That'll get a knockout, but it's going to do a lot of recoil damage to the Tapu Bulu, and it's not going to be able to protect and take advantage of the Grassy Surge. Heavy Slam coming out onto Celesteela, so Gunner swings 2 Pokemon in his favor, which is nice, but the 2 Pokemon he brings in as a result... Oh, the Beast Boost, that's true. That might make a difference in terms of...
I think with the electric terrain, though, that Thunderbolt just kills the Celesteela and Sludge Bomb kills the Bulu. So that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to, can the T-Bolt kill the Celesteela? The Sludge Bomb's definitely going to kill. Nihilego will then go down to the poison damage. So
burn damage,
Yeah, so with the boosted Celesteela... here's how this turn is going to play out. If Thunderbolt doesn't kill, then Gunner wins the game.
Yeah.
So, going to be interesting here.
What's unfortunate is this is one of those situations where you wish that you didn't change the terrain, because if you could have kept it the grassy terrain, he would have healed as much damage as he took, and Nihilego would have survived long enough to... Because now Gunner... Oh, you know what? Gunner can't protect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's what it's going to come down to.
Right, I forgot about that.
We'll see the T-Bolt.
So it literally comes down to T-Bolt.
If that kills it, then I think Gunner's definitely won the game.
Yeah, but I think that definitely does KO. I mean, Celesteela has almost half its damage gone. It's a Tapu Koko. One special D boost is good, but I don't think it's enough. And a Sludge Bomb is definitely going to get rid of the Boo.
Well, it has the Psych Up too. So
oh, you're right. Yep. But still, it's 4 times effective. Nihilego goes a monster.
Kills, yep.
Celesteela does go down. So let's see, does the Sludge Bomb connect and get the knockout? This is the final test. Watch the HP, it goes down, and that means that Saiki is going to beat Gunnar and go to the finals of the first VGC Underground. Means he's going to at least walk away with $30 today. Not a bad prize for his very first VGC tournament.
Yeah,
nice. You might have to face him.
Yeah, and I faced him earlier. He's definitely got a really challenging team for me. So hopefully I can go beat Habib.
Yeah. So you're going to be on stream. So good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in literally 2 minutes while they get set up. Maybe Gunnar will join us on stream to commentate.